Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. So today we'll be telling you some of the weirdest things to have ever come through the porn star's revolving doors. Up first, we have a little orphan Annie decoder pin. This item is objectively not so bad, as with its gold embellishments and retro charm, it could be a neat trinket for the right buyer. Therein lies the tricky caveat though. The right buyer would have to be interested in such a specific item, or as the guys remark, a specific collector of Annie memorabilia. Maybe there's more of those out there than it seems. The pin itself was created sometime around the 30s or 40s, when Annie was running as a popular radio program. They would announce over the radio a coded message, and you would use your decoder pin at home to decode said message, hopefully revealing a deep truth about life itself, or at least a fun message pertaining to Annie. The message on this decoder pin? Be sure to drink your Ovaltine. In another episode, entitled Sweet Porn of Mine, comes a very weird piece of history. Lest you forget, world famous gold and silver pawn shop is open 24 hours, and in the middle of the night strolls in a man full of confidence, stating boldly, "I have slashes from Guns N' Roses driver's license." Now this should be interesting. Chumlee, left to his own devices, which is never a good thing, is uneasy about negotiating from the wild asking price of 50 grand. He calls in Rick, a big fan of rock and roll, to come down and take a look for himself. Rick is none too pleased to be coming in at such a late hour, but he's nevertheless amused by this wacky find. Rick asks the question on everybody's mind: why would anyone pay 50 grand for Slash's driver license? The seller assures him that there is a market out there for this. Rick offers $1,000, but the man walks. No deal, and back to bed.
I mean, literally, if his driver's license was worth 50 grand, I guarantee you he would be losing his license once a month and showing up at the DMV. Sorry guys, lost it again.
In at number 3 in the episode Guns N' Rangers, we have an ivory tusk. Or so it seems. Pawn shops are known for wading into some ethical ambiguity, but this ivory tusk is pushing the envelope. The seller purchased it on a trip to Taiwan, and this had to have been before the ivory trade was as controversial, and quite frankly deplorable, as it is today. Rick can tell right away that it's not even real ivory, it's bone. Not only that, but he won't be too interested in buying real ivory anyway. He doesn't want to get involved in something so political. And can you blame him? The seller is bummed to learn that she was hoodwinked on her original purchase, but still tries to attempt a sale on the aesthetic value. Rick rejects this and sends her packing, forged tusk in hand.
It's not real, it's bone, okay?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, but I don't loan on pretty. I loan on what I can sell it for.
Up next, we have such a harrowing looking figure that it falls perfectly in this category of weird, from the episode Grand Theft Corey. In comes a figurine of Marilyn Manson. Celebrity Deathmatch was a cult hit for MTV at the turn of the new millennium, and goth rocker Marilyn Manson was a frequent appearance on the excessively violent animated satire. He even earned a Grammy nomination for penning a song on the soundtrack. When a seller walks in with an original claymation figure that he purchased from someone involved in the production, the guys at world famous Gold and Silver are definitely amused. To check its value, they have it appraised by one of their experts. The original seller bought it for an astonishing $8,000. Its appraisal value? $1,500. While he's bummed to hear this, he tries to haggle his way somewhere near his original purchase price. Big Hoss stands firm at $500 and the seller walks. Not only did he potentially overpay, he also implied that the Marilyn Manson figure was actively haunting his house. And lastly, in the weird category, we have some very strange fingerprints. Now I can already hear you all asking, what is so special about some random dude's fingerprints? Well, here it is. They belong to Saddam Hussein. Now this was an episode called Silence of the Lambo. This one takes the cake. Saddam Hussein was a corrupt and brutal dictator that led one of the most repressive regimes in modern political history. These fingerprints, taken at the time of his capture, and shortly before his death, are macabre, unsettling, and a little shocking. The seller was involved in Hussein's capture and was given one of a few certified copies of the prints as a gift. Rick remarks that, normally I don't buy memorabilia that has something to do with really bad people, but he has an inkling that someone out there would be interested. Aside from the sentimental value this holds for the seller himself, why would somebody want this hanging on the wall? Rick is then faced with a conundrum. Putting a price on something so creepy won't be easy. He doesn't offer anywhere near the asking price of $10,000, and the man walks.
Might get upwards of, $10,000.
Maybe you could get it, but I'm not going to go anywhere near that.